one of my childhood heroes was Davy Crockett. To this day, I can recall him saying, "Be sure you're right, and then go ahead." And boy, do I love being right. But does being right always mean that I must have someone who is wrong? Are all relationships, including our relationship with God, based on one being right and another being wrong? Maybe that's the wrong question to ask. Join us and see if being right is actually the wrong thing to do. This is Who Am I? Who am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken.
Who am I?
To awaken to absolute truth.
Am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken to absolute truth.
Absolute.
Absolute truth.
Our purpose is to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolute truth. That's our purpose. Who am I? Okay, Davy Crockett. How many of y'all remember Davy Crockett? I know you don't want to, might age you, you say, "Ooh, who?" And now the young folks go, "Who's Davy Crockett?" Okay, Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier, right? Yeah, okay. And that was another saying he had. He said, "Don't judge another man until you walk a mile in his moccasins." Okay. But anyway, so he was really concerned about this right thing, and that's what we want to look at today. This thing called "I'm right." All right. Now, when you look at the human mind has to have something called a thought. All right. And these thoughts that the human mind has a thought, and the basic thought that a human mind has is called I. So I think. And once I think, I will then maybe solidify the thoughts into something called beliefs. All right. And these beliefs are based on something called a dualistic premise, that there is something called a right and a wrong, a good and a bad. Think about it. In Genesis, that was the tree symbolically that supposedly that God told Adam and Eve not to eat of. The knowledge of what? Opposites. Okay? Something called a this as opposed to a that. Well, that's just human thinking. That's human thinking. And what we want to know is, does that have anything to do with God? Okay? Because all Alan Carter can do is think. And once I think, I got to have something called someplace, somewhere to stand. And I have this body that I identify. And this body, which my mind tells me I am, has to have a place. And the place this body is called where I stand. Now, that means that where you are not me. And I will sit over here or stand over here, and because I think, I will have a judgment. I will have get on 285 of rush hour, okay, if you don't believe me. Hey, you cut in front of me, all right? That was wrong, okay, or whatever. Your mind automatically has to go into, I'm right, you're wrong. Gloria.
Well, I've been with this show, I'm seeing more and more the value of starting with the source of God.
Okay.
Starting with words that at least can point to God's identity.
Okay.
Because you can't get to truth from a lie.
Right.
So starting with truth, it's like, what is the source of God's identity? One is all.
Okay.
One is I am.
Okay.
Or I and then am.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Now is another word for God's identity.
What is?
Now.
Okay.
N-O-W.
All right.
And there are others. Love.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what would that have to do with judgment?
So starting there, judgment infers duality.
Right.
So God is one of the sources of God. So there would be no need for judgment because there is no other. There's only one.
Right. Okay. Now this is very important what Gloria is pointing out here. See, Alan Carter always has to think in dualistic terms. There's a me, and then there's a not me called Aviva. Or there's a me and a not me called a God. All right? I have now established that there are two limited beings, a me and a Aviva, another human, or a me and what I call a God. But both are limited. Now, what limits them? My thought. All right? I'm thinking that I am Alan, and there's something called not me. Sharon.
But Sharon thinks.
Uh-huh.
God does not think.
Like Sharon.
Exactly.
Right.
But there's no thought for God to have.
Yeah.
God
like Sharon.
just bees.
Yeah.
That's not a word, but God bees.
Yeah. Yeah. I am, I exist, or is. That's all the same words, okay? Lennon.
So I can use the terms I am, all, now, and be, and still not understand God's identity because those are concepts.
Right.
So in order to get to the place where we can understand God's identity, we have to, the mind cannot be present.
Right.
So that means no thoughts can be present. No beliefs can be present.
Right.
No mind and no body can be present.
Right.
The only thing that's present in God's identity is awareness.
Right.
Now, if we were to ask anybody in this room or anywhere in this universe, are you aware? I would believe everybody who doesn't have, whose brain is okay, would answer that question, yes. I am aware. Now, can you find where that awareness is? No one can locate it. Now, in between the question, there's a thought. That's the question. And in between the answer, there is a answer yes. But what's in between the thought and the question is a pause. And what is that pause at? That pause is awareness. Because we know that we are aware that we are aware. So where is the right and wrong when all there is awareness?
There is an end. You're right.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, see, now this is something that Alan can't get. Alan will refuse to get that. Alan, Viva, or Bahia, Gloria, or, whoever. Okay, if you think, like old Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. Well, you got caught, Descartes, into the human mind. All right? And you don't realize that the human mind is all about this. The human mind cannot know God. That's why the human mind makes up gods. Makes up gods like, Apollo, Zeus, all the planets in the solar system are named for Roman gods. Okay? But we say, well, Jehovah, or Allah, or Yahweh, that's different. How do you know that? Prove it. It comes out of your mind. It's a belief you have. Now, again, I want to get clear. We're not here to attack anybody's belief system. Okay? If you have a belief in Jehovah, Allah, or whatever, that's all right. That's your belief. But notice you're going to make it right. Automatically. Okay? I mean, without even, it just automatically. Well, yeah, grandmama told me, or the Bible says, or the Quran says, or whatever. You will cite something as an authority, okay? And that authority is just a belief. You cannot prove that the Bible is God's word. Because what will a Muslim say? No, the Quran is God's word, okay? But who is saying it? You always have to come back to this I that is saying, this is it. This is true. I am right. And because you said I am right, you gotta have somebody who's wrong. God meaning Jehovah or whoever, Allah, whatever, has to have Satan. All right, Glory.
Is there a spiritual right and then a human right, like a human right being one of judgment, and a right like the right thing to do? I mean, is there a difference?
Well, yeah, there's a world of difference. Okay, because Gloria has to think in dualistic terms. Gloria has to say there's a thought, and then you would have to have something called that isn't my thought. Okay, because you would say Alan's thoughts are not Gloria's thoughts. Okay, well, as you were saying, and Leonard was saying, all infinite. Okay, you're asking, can the infinite think? And this is what Sharon was looking at. See, of course, you're gonna think everything has to fit your thought system. Okay, you're gonna see what the human mind does is it takes the infinite and squeezes it down into the finite, so I can understand it. I can understand a God who gets mad. Sure, I can, because I get mad. A God who judges, and has a judgment day. I got a judgment day every day. Get me on 285. All right, or whatever, okay? Or I think Beyonce is better looking than Whoopi Goldberg, okay? Is that true? Well, all right, we won't go there, all right? But anyway, it's a belief because, in some societies, the fatter a woman is, the more beautiful she is, in Somalia or somewhere like that, okay? But those are all just cultural conditioning stuff. So Gloria is asking, can God think? Now, supposedly in the Bible, I think Jesus was talking about God, and he said, my thoughts are not your thoughts.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but what was he really referring to? That there's a whole realm that you have no access to. You can't get there. You can't understand God. But why don't we make up a God that we can understand and then call it right? Call it, that this is the truth. Because, see, what the human mind has to do, like I say, it has to have a place to stand on. And the place it stands on, it calls it truth. It's not. It's a belief.
But
Yeah, John?
but that satisfies the human aspect, the human situation.
Yes.
Because it's pleasing, it's gratifying,
Yes.
and therefore it's acceptable, and it makes me feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so therefore that's the reason for that. It becomes, when you start talking about God's identity in terms of its accessibility, and you can't get there from here.
Right. So why don't you just admit that whatever you said about God is a lie?
No.
No, because you don't have to have
you
something you
have to
stand.
have-
Right.
right.
Right. See, I would never. Can you get the Pope to admit that all his beliefs about Jesus is a lie? The Pope would never admit that. Why? His whole identity is based on his commitment to Jesus.
And there's
Okay.
a reason for him to.
Yes, because it keeps him being Pope Francis. See, we don't want to give up being. Look,
No, seriously.
Alan Carter doesn't want to give up being human. I will protect. Old Freud basically said, I have some ego defense mechanisms. Okay, I will protect this identity that I think I am. It's self-preservation, and not just of the body. We know that people will kill their bodies. Ask, Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain. People will kill their bodies, but will people kill their belief? Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade had thoughts, and their thoughts were, I can't probably. I mean, I'm making this up. Probably something called, I can't deal with this anymore. That was just a thought, Anthony. Kate. Can you go beyond your thoughts? Okay? But the human mind says, no, this is true. It has to have something it calls true, but it's not true. It's all a belief, Raphael. Wait a minute, I think, Bahia was next and then Raphael.
Well, the other thing about beliefs is they set up the framing for the operation of the mind also.
Yes.
Because what you believe is pretty much what you're going to defend, look toward, justify, etc., and use as the basis for your own survival.
Yes.
So I can understand, this notion that God, being all, there's no need to think or have thoughts and stuff like that. I'm kind of mystified by that because I think there's something going on there that we may never know as human beings,
Yeah, you
They
won't.
won't.
right?
Yeah, but see, you can't stop thinking. Stop thinking, Bahia. You're thinking about it, right? I mean, even when you meditate, and Raphael is, meditates a lot. They're trying to deal with this place called thinking, and somehow they'll slow it down. Okay, but do you ever get to a place called no thought?
You can. I used to study science of mind, and you can get to a place where the mind just totally clear, but that doesn't deal with your belief system.
Right, but who knows that you
Which is
got to
still
a place
there.
called I'm not, I'm totally clear. Who knows that?
I actually experienced it.
Yeah, but who's that?
I.
Who's that I?
It was that I.
It was known as Bahia. Because you made it into a thought. Because you talked about it. You're now talking about it.
Right now. But
Yeah.
But then I experienced it.
Yeah, but who
Where
was
the-
experiencing it? See,
Where-
once you say you experienced it, you then adulterate it. Okay? See, we have to bring, as Joan was saying, we have to bring things back to our thought system. Because I think I exist. I don't even think I exist. I know I exist. Okay, but who is this I that's saying I exist? Now, that's a profound question. Okay? Because everything is connected to I. All right? And I can't get away from I. Okay? I mean, I am with me 24/7.
So you're saying that the adulteration is the notion that I think that I'm separate from God.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to make that clear for your
Yes.
audience.
Yes, you think that you're about here. Okay, a black female from Oakland, California, yada, yada.
I might.
Okay.
I might.
Yeah, you think you are located in a studio in time and space, okay, and this is the year 2018 and yada, yada. Okay, Raphael.
Yes, Dr. Carter, in reference to what we discussed in and I am, all, now, be, it's not the absolute. And we will never get there to know what is right.
Right.
Okay. First, I would think that consciousness, awareness, connected to the law also will bring about that awareness that now we know where we are going with the right.
Whose
Because it's,
consciousness?
I'm sorry?
Whose consciousness?
My consciousness,
Raphael's?
awareness,
Raphael's?
will take me to nowhere that I will never get there.
Okay.
That I will never get there. What I would say, the questioning and the watching and the observing, as I am looking for enlightenment, will show me that I am getting there, but I will never get there.
Okay. I saw a couple hands back there. Sharon in Atlanta.
But there's nowhere to get to.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Sharon thinks that she can reach a state of no mind. There is no place for Sharon to get to. She can keep searching and seeking those things, but I am already there. Sharon just thinks there's somewhere for her to go.
Yeah.
If she just lets go, she'll see there's nothing for her to do. But she keeps searching for me, for that I. She's never gonna find I.
Yeah.
She just has to let go of who she thinks she is.
Yeah, see, this thing called, you ask most people, most particularly religious people, to define God, and they would say God is omnipresent. Where is omnipresent?
Everywhere.
What does that mean?
Nowhere.
Nowhere in particular. Okay? Where are you going to find omnipresence? It's here now. What you mean here? See, the mind has to think in terms of location. I am here in Atlanta, Georgia, okay? So I got a space, I got a location. And then once as old Einstein said, once I got space, I got time. So I got now something called the year 2018, which is just made up, okay? And so now I say, okay, I'm located in a building in Atlanta, Georgia in the year 2018, all lies, okay? Because unless omnipresent knows about it, it doesn't exist. Okay, there's only omnipresence. Then how you going to account for Alan Carter? Or how you going to account for, Aviva? Or Donald Trump. Okay, we don't have to count for Donald Trump. Hey, thank you, Jesus. Anyway, how you gonna account for, anybody, anybody, okay? When there's only omnipresence. This is the most important thing you could ever study and ponder is omnipresence, which is what? All presence. Okay, Leonard.
So as you say, omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience, what are we really pointing to? Because the words cannot describe it, and the words cannot actually be the reality. But what comes before thought? What comes before anything has to be something that's omnipresent, and that would be awareness. Because how would awareness not be present without us knowing about it? So we have to even be aware of that. Like if we're in deep sleep and there's none of us here, there's not even a Bahia or Gloria or Leonard or Dr. Carter present, then what is still there? Awareness. Awareness cannot be replaced, it cannot be multiplied, and it cannot be divided. So what's wrong with looking at awareness and looking at awareness as I and not looking at the mind or the body as I?
Yeah, that's all, all the wise ones, I would think, like a Jesus or Buddha or Lao Tzu or whoever. I think that's all they were doing.
May I ask
yeah.
Leonard a question? Is awareness and consciousness synonymous? Are you?
I use them synonymously.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I know I exist. Now, who is this I? A body that came out of Ruth Carter and lives for a certain number of years and then dies? Is that who I am? No. Okay, but that's what I define myself as. I say I'm a black man from Norman, Alabama, or whatever. I'm a psychologist or whatever. All of that is a lie. In truth. I mean, yeah, in the game called what we call this game called life, I play a game called psychologist and black man and, all that kind of stuff, all right? Yeah, Bahia.
You just made a statement that just kind of blew me away. You said, unless omnipresence knows about it, it does not exist. That's
Right.
a statement of duality. Omnipresent can't, or all can't be dual.
Right.
So what did you mean by that?
This is the only thing there is.
It.
There's a-
meaning
yeah.
the omnipresent.
Huh? What you say, Dora?
I think the it, when you read that, it was the it.
Yeah, I mean, see,
Omnipresence and
only
it.
God is. Okay? I'm a jealous God. Well, not because God, you don't choose him, or, like I'm jealous of Jay-Z because he has Beyonce or something. Okay, none of that crazy stuff. But there's only one presence. That's what omnipresence means. So it can't know another.
But, okay, and I accept that, but all encompasses everything.
Okay. Yes.
Does it not?
Uh-huh.
So all can't be aware of the fact that it's all?
Not like we think of awareness. See, I think in terms of subject-object. I'm a subject, you're an object.
Okay.
Okay? And so there's difference. There's a separation between me, the subject, and you, the object.
Okay.
But since there's only omnipresence, how can there be a dividing line, a separation? There can't be. God can't know you. God can't know Jesus.
But that's
Okay?
not my question. That's not my question.
All right, what's your question?
My question is, can all be aware of itself as being all?
Yes, it can. But not like you think awareness is aware.
Right. Not
Because it's
on a
omniscient.
dual basis.
'Cause see, yeah, it's omniscient. See, but you can't get that. I don't care if you're Einstein. All right? Because you think dualistically. Einstein thought dualistically. Okay? But awareness, as Linda was saying, omniscience, all-knowing. It knows all. But it doesn't know Bahia.
Okay, I'm trying to get at something else. I'm trying to get at whether or not the all can be aware of us as itself.
As itself, but then what's the us? So you make a distinction there, okay? So you're saying this is got you got to get clear on how the human mind operates. Okay, religious people say you got to beware of Satan. That's just the human mind. That's all Satan is. I got a PhD in Satanology, y'all. Okay, I mean, it is. That's all it is because it thinks. Okay, and it thinks the human mind has to make sure that duality appears real, that there's a me and a not me. Okay, that's what the human mind has to do. All the educational systems are premised on that. Okay, all theologies are premised on that. That's why everything here is a lie, because it denies omnipresence. Even though most religious people will say God is omnipresent, and then they bring in what? Their little self, this little mind that they call me. Okay, and we always trying to justify it. So what you see, you have to get, and this is what Raphael talks about, this getting to nothing. What is that? What's nothing?
Everything.
What's nothing?
From my
Okay.
perspective, it's all, which is
Okay.
everything.
All right. Then why have nothing?
Why have nothing?
Yeah, I mean, why make the distinction since it's everything?
That's right. There's no need.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Well, see, that's it. That's why you can't get there. You're going to keep being like a dog chasing his tail, keep going after something, you'll never get it. See, if you take the wise ones, Jesus, Siddhartha, Jesus, whoever, okay, they had to get to these questions. They had to, because they're trying to get to the basis of everything. What is the source? That's what the word religion means. Binding back comes from the word religio, binding back to the source. So we call it God, but then you talk to a Christian, they would say God is Jesus. Talk to a Muslim, they would say it's Allah or whatever. And you will get a million different definitions of God. But when you get clear that it all comes out of your mind, okay? And I just got a signal that we're going to have to wind this up. in this illusion of time, we're going to have to wind this up. But, stay open to the question. This mind that judges, is that really you? Is that really I? Can you have a God who doesn't judge? Why do you have to have a God who judges? Like you do, Alan does, okay? Stay open to see if that's really the truth. Thank you. Take a look around. There's war, natural disasters, famine, and disease. Is this what God intended? The temptation said, this earth is just a ball of confusion. And that's why I'm asking, is the world crazy? Or is it just me?
Join Dr. Alan Carter for a special live workshop entitled, Is the World Crazy or Is It Just Me? The workshop is held Saturday, July 21st. For more information, visit drallencarter.com.